All right, so what's up, everyone? We have an amazing guest today, and I want to introduce her myself, Mike.
Yes.
Okay, so I just wanted to say, so
Eli.
well, okay, Eli, we have the amazing Kerri Kasem here. Hey,
Yes, welcome.
Welcome.
Happy to have you.
Definitely, very happy to have you.
We're so excited. We just want to start off with, obviously, we want to just say how beautiful you are.
Seriously,
and your beauty inspires us so much. So we take care of ourselves every single day because of you. We are
so cute.
So health conscious when it comes to food, when it comes to the type of product we use on our face, our hair. We're like, okay, what would Kerri do?
Seriously, he's not even kidding. Like, for real.
And with that, we're so excited, and we just want to start the podcast off because we have a question to ask you because we're so excited about this. But talk to us. You have a new beauty product line coming out, and we're so excited to hear about this.
Yes,
and this is the first time we're hearing this, you guys. So we're lit right now. So we're ready to hear this.
Good.
Yes.
All right. So
Yes.
I decided to do a anti-aging cream because people are always asking me how I look so young, what I'm doing for my skin, what do I do? And I am so open and honest about everything.
Yes.
So I'm 50, and I don't know if you want to zoom in on this face here. We got there. Come on, other one.
Hey, oh my God, we love you.
50.
Yes. Okay, and I didn't know if we could say you're 50, but
I
you
talk about it
guys,
all the time.
on the way here, we were talking about you, sorry, because we just had lunch at the Beverly Hills Hotel. And
So good.
just say. And on the way here, we were just like, oh my God, like, how is Kerri? Because you're 50, you just said your age, but literally we were like, no, she's not 50. You're like 30, you're like 25. Like we're actually freaked out, like in a good way. But yes, I know not only us and other people have always been telling you, what keeps you young like this. And now you're coming out with your own beauty line.
I am, because I know what works, and I know what I've been using since late 20s. I started finally anti-aging because I was sitting in the sun my whole life, like just tanner, baby oil, everything on me, laying out in the sun. And by the time I hit 27, my face was a wreck. I had deep lines everywhere. I had bad sun damage. Yeah, it's gone now. I spent a lot of time getting rid of it.
Got it.
But I started at 27 anti-aging. And one of the first things I did was a vitamin C cream.
Okay.
And then I used all these different other creams that worked, or, work with a laser, or if I did, this or that. It would, so I literally did a combination of everything that worked. And I worked with a chemist. This isn't me putting my name on a cream that, is already out there. I worked with a chemist for a very long time. All the ingredients I know work, and I know what they do. And I love that.
Wow.
And so I was, making this and doing this, you're really hoping that people have the same reaction and they love it. So everybody that I've given it to, including people that do major beauty blogs, they said it's one of the best creams they've ever used. And one of them asked for another one. They're like, I'm just going to buy it. It's the best cream I've used.
Oh my God. Is that something? So for people to know, is there something that a website or somewhere where people can access this?
I was on pre-sale. We're going to start with our orders again next week because we just got our whole batch in, which I'm so excited.
Oh my God,
it's Fasem. That's the name of it. It's
oh my
Fasem.
God.
Yeah.
Sorry, you guys. This is the first time we're hearing this. So it's called Fasem?
Fasem by Kasem, but it's
God.
it's for your face. It's half my name, but it's also me, because you know how I face the world. I face my problems. I go after things.
Yes.
And I thought, this is great. And what's crazy is I got the name from somebody who's on social media, like somebody who follows me. And I was doing a live talking about different names, and he's like, what about this? And I was like, this is amazing. You're incredible. Thank you.
I love it.
I was very, very happy with that. And so it was going to be named Wild and Free and all these different things. We had all these different names. But then Fasem, I'm like, yes.
Oh my God.
That hit. And I'm so excited about it.
Oh my
so
God.
That's exciting. And are you already utilizing the product already on yourself or on any?
Yeah, I use it until people want it, and then I give it. I was giving it away. And so now I just literally got my full order in.
Oh my God.
So I'm getting stuff sent to me. My roommate's been using it. I gave her the rest of my cream because my roommate had, her skin looked a lot older, and she's been now using it 6 months. she looks like she had a laser done. She looked
Oh
like
my
she had
God.
a very expensive laser done to her face. That's how nice her skin was.
Okay, so so excuse me, we need to order something like immediately because my face, I feel like I'm getting older, like bad.
We need some face-um right now.
You know, it really, the ingredients are amazing. It will slow down your aging and it will help reverse the signs of aging. But you know, when people say, "Oh, it's just cream," no, I tell everybody what I do. I do tons of lasers, tons of radio frequency, tons of skin tightening, threads, Botox, fillers. So I do all of it, you know, and you know, it just depends on how bad your skin is, but this is the first step. And especially for somebody who's on a budget, this is going to help immensely.
Love that.
You know, I've actually been to some treatments before. I'm not sure if you heard of Soft Wave, but so I've tried it before. Obviously it's very painful. I mean, I told Mike, oh my God, I'm dying. But so it stimulates the collagen and it makes, obviously it's supposed to make you look younger, maybe a stronger shine. Is it very similar to that product? How does that work in different?
So Soft Wave is radio frequency and it does hurt like hell. I've done it myself, but it works.
Okay.
I prefer, even though Soft Wave does more tightening, I prefer Morpheus 8.
Okay.
Yeah. So Morpheus 8 is a micro needling with radio frequency in it. So not only does it affect the, you know, although both of you have beautiful skin.
Oh my God, thank you.
It's great for topical and it tightens. And you get 2-in-1, which I love.
Okay.
And they're both painful.
Right.
But it just depends on what kind of topical numbing cream you use. And I found a place that uses the best.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's incredible. But Soft Wave is fantastic. And so, and I will talk to you about other things you can do that you will really like.
Yeah, because I'm 44, so obviously I'm not 50 yet, but I would love to look as beautiful as you when I'm 50, because it's obviously going to be some process for me, but it's fascinating to see because you have this whole routine now that you brought up to the public and that you're selling. So you're inspired by your own creations. You've done a lot of things, philanthropy work in the world, actually the world. And you've also led on and pioneered a lot of different things. You also had a radio show. So I wanted to ask you, like, as far as that radio show, is it something that ignited you as to why you wanted to do it? Was it a word you wanted to spread to the public? What was the reason why you wanted to be on radio? Yeah,
good question. It's funny. I did a lot of musical theater and acting when I was a kid.
Love
and my dad he's a radio host, and he did America's Top 40 and America's Top 10 and American Top 40, America's Top 10. Like all these shows he did. But he did he was the first guy to ever play videos before MTV. Like so he was in radio. He was Mr. Radio. And and he always said, "Why don't you try radio?" And I'm, "Dad, they can't see you. Like, I want to be on stage. I want to be on Broadway. I want to sing."
Oh my God, yeah.
And I moved to Singapore to do MTV for a year. I was a VJ out there. And I started doing radio. And I had done a year of radio school. So I knew how to do radio and I fell in love with it. So when I came back from Singapore, I started doing, I was on KLSX with a show called Two Chicks and a Bunny, and that did very, very well. And then I did more serious shows, and that's when I got into political radio, and I got into finance and real estate, and I did all these shows, and I mean, name a show. I mean, pet shows. I've done so many radio shows. 25 years in talk radio.
Okay.
So,
wow.
And then I did a music show, but it was all talk. And then in between whatever stations we'd have it on, it was syndicated. They play their own music. So it was a rock show called Sixth Sense with Nikki Sixx from Motley Crue. And whenever Motley Crue would go on tour, I would go with them. And as a kid in the 80s, all I wanted to do was be there with the rock stars. And I mean, Guns N' Roses was my most favorite group. And, now I'm like, people look at me and I'm singing musical theater. I like pop, but my heart is, I know you guys are going to think that I'm crazy, is like death metal. So
okay.
And
I can see that.
We have a beauty queen who loves death metal.
But I really didn't think I liked death metal. I didn't know that I loved it so much. And I'm listening to it and like, this is death metal. Like, what? It's black metal, most people think, like, where it's just noise and it's just loud and just like death metal is like Slipknot. They can and there's like this other group called Opeth or Tribulation or Dead by April, and like I'm obsessed with it. Okay. And it's what literally I know, like puts a fire in my body. So yeah. Anyway, I don't know how I got on that, but
I love it
because the rock star runs through your blood.
It does. Like I love rock music. I mean, I like all kinds of rock.
Right.
Yes. I love music in general. Like I'm eclectic. I'll listen to anything. I'll be sitting there listening to death metal, and the next song that comes on is Clair de Lune by Debussy, or like there's my whole list of
oh my god
of Adagio for strings and all these different classical tunes, right? Yes. So I go back and forth to everything.
Oh, I love that. And do you feel that the radio personality in you is a little bit also in your blood because of your dad being in radio?
I think it definitely helps spur it.
Right.
For sure. Yes. I don't think if he was my dad, I would be thinking, oh, radio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like you said, when you started doing radio, it just hit. You were like, I love it.
Yeah.
And so that's why I feel like, oh my God, that's like in your blood from your family. And he did it so good that, like you said, he was the top of the nation. You know what I mean? So amazing, worldwide known, you know?
And that helps out a lot to understand, what you furthered on in your lifestyle, because you also have done a lot of things publicly to try to help pioneer certain things, like the things that happened. And I'll bring this up. Hopefully everybody understands this. Things that happened in the past with your father, where you came in and said, you know what, I'm going to see if I can change certain politics about the way people take care of, elderlies or individuals. In this case was your dad. So what was your backbone to it? Obviously it was your dad, and you had a reason for like, I'm going to do everything it takes to make sure my dad is being taken care of. Yeah. I'm there for him. And I know it's a very touching story, but why did you do it? Obviously I'm sure there's besides being the daughter, did you feel like it was just you're the only one that can do this?
The system, maybe.
Yeah, when a person in your life, like let's say the closest person to you gets taken, and somebody says you're never going to see them again. It's like, no, that's not a choice for me. You didn't give me a choice. There's no, what do you mean I'm not going to see my dad again? And my stepmother did that. And then I'll make it short because a lot of people do know the story. Right. And what's amazing too, and I want to tell you guys out there, is that I finally got the show that I did with a woman named Eliza Rosen. We produced this show, and it's called Bitter Blood. It's Kasem versus Kasem, and it's my whole story. So because I didn't get a trial, because that was stopped, I took all the depositions and everything that I went through for 6 years and made a case, and then came out 8 years later. So I have it. It's on all platforms now. Bitter Blood, Kasem versus Kasem. It tells the whole story, and it tells it like I felt it, and it was like a true crime.
Wow.
And that's how it's written. That's how it's done. That's how, and it's all real. Yes. It's all reality. But you'll hear from the caretakers, the people behind the scenes, like everybody that I did depositions on, the doctors, the police officers, everything. You'll have it. And so it was very important for me to get that story out there and tell people what's going on, because so many people are going through being blocked from a family member, not being able to see a family member, or having a hard time, or you call and, oh, mom or dad they're tired. They're too tired. They're not getting your letters. They're not getting your things. This is happening. It's an epidemic of isolation, which is elder abuse.
Right.
So, I said, well, I was told in the beginning of trying to see my dad and the fight for him and my court dates that you're not going to win guardianship over a wife of 34 years. And, I basically said, if that's not going to happen, then I'm going to change the law. Yes. So as I'm fighting in court, I'm up in Sacramento, California, the capital, creating a law, changing the law. And it's a whole story. I won't go too much more into it, but I did end up winning my case. And
wonderful.
I did change the law.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes. And then I went to go and change the law into like almost half the states in the United States. So,
wow. And congratulations to your success.
Thank
you. I know you changed the law in around 21 states?
22 states. And this is, I have to give, a lot of props to my team at Kasem Cares, because without a team, you're only as good as the team you are.
Yes.
And I was surrounded by the best.
Love this.
And my dad would always say that. I'm like, what does he mean by that? He would say that as a kid, you have to surround yourself by people better than you too.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
So I got in the most incredible people who helped me forward this bill. And it's my team at Kasem Cares that I have to thank.
God,
wow, that's powerful.
Amazing.
And you guys as viewers, just realize the fact, Kerri Kasem is one individual that collectively got this group, helped her fight for a cause. You guys can do exactly the same thing. I don't ever feel like you are behind the wall and you can't say nothing or speak out to your government. The fact is, there are laws that you can do to actually be able to speak out. I mean, there's so many different things you could do. Can you win them? That's a process. There's politics involved in it. But the fact is she did it and she won her case. And these are examples of what you can do by just pushing a little harder. Yep. And obviously, you know, now she is sitting here doing her big things and knowing that, hey, at least I know, you know, obviously it's the future. At least I know that now for future people, certain things can now be better.
That's right.
You know, and that's important because you can definitely make a footprint in things for your future. So
right, yeah, because you were one of the first people that we were thinking about when, you know, because we know how you are helping people in conservatorships. This is something that was going on, you know, in your family, and we know that, you know, when the whole Britney Spears situation occurred, where she was released from her conservatorship, or as much as she was, you know. The first people we were thinking about was Kerri.
Yeah.
And it's because you were out there, you were one of the individuals in all of these states, you know, 22 states changing the law. And the first thing I can think of was, wow, like this is also happening because the laws that you have in place and help, you know, change people's worlds, literally. So, you know, you were the first person we thought of. And I think I called you and I was like, oh my God, Kerri, do you see what's going on?
Yeah, and I got involved with that a little bit, but all that goes to the Free Britney people and Megan Radford and those people are just absolutely incredible. They she has a fan base that's unreal. Yeah. And she'd still be in this conservatorship if it weren't for them.
Yeah.
Wow. I spoke out on their behalf. Yes. I did what they, you know, whatever I could, but it was definitely the Free Britney movement that did that.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Amazing. And
aside from all the, you know, everything that you've done so far, you know, I'm going to go into some fun things, but you know, if you guys follow her, you know,
because we have Rockstar, we have Beauty, we have going to Sacramento.
No, we have even more fun stuff. So what is it with these horses? So I have to know, because seriously, I love horses. I've never had one.
Yeah.
I can only imagine the maintenance and the cost of having a horse, but you ride them like you are, I don't know, like you're going into a war or a queen. Yeah.
Or
like,
war.
So,
oh my God,
so you ride it so well. So please elaborate, like why are you on horses? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So they've always been in my life since I was 3 years old. I've loved horses. They've just been everything to me. You know, no matter what happened in my life, I had horses, and my horse was my life. And so you know, towards the end of his life, all I did was ride him bareback, and even when I was a kid, I rode him bareback, and I would jump bareback, and I would do everything bareback. Okay. And so in 1979, I went and saw The Black Stallion with my dad in movie theaters, and my mom and dad were getting divorced. And I remember every weekend until that movie went out of the theaters, I went and watched it with my dad.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I said, I'm going to do that one day. And
no way.
Yeah, and there's a scene where the little boy is on the black horse on an island, and he's learning to ride him, and he's falling off, and he's getting back on, he's falling off, he's getting back on, and it's on this, you know, gorgeous stretch of beach.
Oh my God.
And it was this big black horse, and it had no reins, no saddle.
Okay.
And it took me 43 years to do it.
Oh my God.
But I did it.
But you did it.
And it was during COVID, and I saw this man riding his horse like that in Morocco. And I found him and I called him up. I said, hey, if I fly to Morocco, can I ride your horse like that? And he goes, sure.
Oh my God.
He goes, can you ride? I'm like, yeah.
No way.
Literally was that.
Oh my God.
And it took me a couple months to get out there because all the flights kept, because of COVID, one leg of the trip kept canceling.
Oh my God.
So it took me a couple months, and I got out there for my birthday.
Okay, yes.
It was for my 49th birthday. And I rode, you know, this stallion on the beach.
Yes.
No reins, no saddle, flying down the beach. And I remember, I mean, I did these great things where I wasn't even holding on. I was like, you know, doing this with my hands.
Oh my God.
Like this and whatever I was doing. And the one thing that went viral was one I didn't think would. I'm just hauling ass down the thing, and I just turned to the camera and I wave and I put it on my story like it's a throwaway. That one got over 1 billion views.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and it wasn't my views because I just was collecting shares. They're like, you're going viral. It was like I had done an A-list movie. All the attention I got, and now it changed the trajectory of my life because I did that. I'm like, oh, you must be a strong writer. You must be a professional writer. I'm like, no. When you grow up on horses, you find your balance. So I'm not weak, but I'm not working out in the gym every day or anything like that. I just have great balance. And like, you must have legs of steel. I'm like, no, I get off the horse, I'm sore. It's speechless. Perfect balance.
Oh my
and
God.
it's an understanding of the horse. And I can feel, when I can ride a horse like that, I can feel it within just a few minutes of being on that horse.
Oh, wow.
So, and I saw him doing it, and I spent a couple days with the horse, and then I get on him. I'd ridden him before with the reins, no saddle,
Okay.
and then I'm like, okay, let's do this. And he hadn't, only his family and him had ridden the horses like that. So, and he was a pretty popular Yassine Cavalier.
Yeah.
You can go to Morocco and go to Essaouira. I say it wrong. Essaouira in Morocco. It's a beach town, and you can ride these horses.
Okay.
And I get there, I do this video, put it up, goes crazy, and then I start getting calls. Can I shoot you on a horse? Can I, like, I want to photograph you here. Can you come here? Can you ride with us? I got a horse sponsor. Anywhere in the world I want to ride, they set it up for me. And it was amazing. So I just got back from my first ride where I was taking groups of people with Cavago.
Okay.
And Cavago is based out of Portugal, and it is Airbnb for horses. So anytime you want a lesson, a horse ride, if you want to do like a 3 days, 4 days, you could do one lesson. You could do a trail ride. You can learn to play polo. Anything horses. You can sign up for a competition. Anything horses is on Cavago.com.
Cavago.
And then it's my Cavago, I think _Cavago on Instagram. But if you like horses, you got to get on this platform.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Oh my God. And we're totally going to put the little video or picture up while we're talking.
Okay.
So we can see the horse
and me running on it. Yeah.
And you waving to the camera. Yeah. So amazing that scene. And I can't believe you manifested this since you were a little girl.
Since I was 7, I think.
And it's I got the chills because you were literally saying while he was riding on the beach, and your video of you're on the beach with this horse.
You want to hear something crazy?
I want to hear it.
Okay. This is crazy.
Oh my God.
A year after I put that video up, I went back and looked at the scene from the Black Stallion, and I cut, it's still up there. I think it's still up. I cut the scene from when he's riding to me, and it's almost exact. And I haven't seen that
picture,
movie. I have chills all over me.
I've seen this picture. It is so crazy.
And I put the movie up against me, and we're doing the same movements.
Wow.
I remember
I haven't
this.
seen that movie since I think I was 24 years old.
Oh my God. And I didn't know this part of the story. I just saw the picture and I was like, oh, maybe she was trying to mimic this.
No, I didn't watch the show. I didn't watch anything. And I just did it. And it was almost all of my movements mimic his.
Wow.
That's what's burned in your head when you watch something 100 times.
Shocked. I am so shocked. Wow. Yeah, that was professional riding right there. That was so amazing.
That is amazing. I mean, I actually have always I love horses, but I've never, are they tame? Are they calm? Are they aggressive?
Yeah, it's interesting. Horses go off of your own vibration, your heartbeat. They can actually feel that. They understand, if your heartbeat's sped up, they're going to feel it.
Okay.
They know how you are. And there's a couple people who speak horse language. Oh, wow. So instead of the old ways of breaking a horse where you're tying their legs up and leaving them there and treating them cruelly and horrible, you can actually, horse herds have a language. So they talk to each other by the way they move their shoulders, by the way they square up with you, if they turn to the side.
Right.
There's all different languages.
Got it.
And you can learn that. You can take a horse that's never been ridden and within 30 minutes get on his back and ride him because he trusts you completely.
And do you use that type of energies when you with them?
I didn't as a kid. I didn't know about that.
It was just natural.
Now I talk to the horse before I get on him. Okay. I feel him. I tell him I'm going to ride you. Is that okay? I ask him. Wow. I touch him all over. I see how he is.
Yes.
Or her.
Yes.
And I connect with that horse. I did this in Dubai.
Wow.
Again with Cavago, who got me out to Dubai to ride.
Amazing.
And this was a year ago. Yes. And I got on this white horse and just walking around. I'm like, I can easily ride this horse without reins.
Wow. That is great.
And they're like, okay.
Oh my God.
And he'd never been, but I put a rope around his neck.
Yes.
He listened, like, okay, we can do this. And I'm like, guys, stand over there. He's going to run to you. Bring the other horse over there and they'll run to what's familiar, right? So I took him down the beach and I took his reins off, took everything, and we just slowly cantered all the way down there. And I was on the white horse.
So I'm going to say, next time you're going on a horse, you have to call us. We are so down. I'm not kidding you. November 17th, we're doing an Abu Dhabi, Dubai, and one other thing.
Oh my God.
And it's a whole Cavago thing, but we keep our groups very small.
Okay.
And it's all set up for you. All 5-star hotels, all 5-star everything. You guys should sign up now.
Okay.
Dead serious. You guys should come with me.
Eli's been talking about horses.
I'm down. And it's Dubai. Come on.
Yeah,
how do you say no?
And we've been talking about to Dubai, so it's almost meant to be.
It's the most beautiful settings, and it's so fun. And it's not just horses, right? We're going to ride a few times. And then a lot of it is going to see, and we have a private guide, and they take us everywhere.
Oh my God.
And it's so fun.
I love this. We're so going in.
Okay, good.
It sounds
you guys
so
should come.
No, we're down. We're down.
Yeah.
And so again, you know,
and you can come too out there.
Yeah.
So anybody, you go to My Cavago and sign up. Right now, you just have to, you go to My Cavago and you just put your name in and say, I want to go to the next horse trip. So there's quite a few. We're going to be doing more. We're going to go back to Morocco. We're going to go back to Portugal. But right now, the next one is Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Yeah.
Dubai. Right. Oh my God, that's one of the most like epic places ever. And then to ride a horse and to be with Kerri Kasem, you guys better go to this website. And like just speaking on that, it's like, oh my goodness, I just keep getting the chills talking to you because we're talking about beauty because oh my God, look at you. But then we're talking about like hard metal rock. And then we're talking about, you know, going to the state. We're talking about changing laws. You know, now we're talking about horses. And we could just talk to you all day because there's so many things that you're doing. And I'm going to ask you a question. And it's a little bit, it's a little controversial. Okay. It's not a question. We want you to fill you in. This is another thing you're working on. Okay. And it has to do with frequencies and magnets. Are we able to talk about this?
Yeah, of course.
And because I know this is a little bit controversial because it has to do with, you know, killing diseases and cancer. And, you know, anytime you ever hear people talking about diseases, you know, as strong as cancer, you know, sometimes you hear of these people disappearing off the face of this planet.
That's right.
They get, you know, silenced, and you're one of the brave individuals right now who is using the new technology, magnets, frequencies to cure people, and you're going to be doing this worldwide. Can you talk to us about this?
Well, my Lyme disease, which I had for 11 years, I was misdiagnosed. You know, oh, you have lupus, oh, MS, oh, you have hormonal issues, you've got vitamin deficiencies. I was misdiagnosed with everything. And I kept getting sicker and sicker and sicker. I had pain all over my body. I had rashes. I was so sick. I couldn't look outside because the light was so bright, it hurt my eyes. Wow. If somebody touched me, it was uncomfortable. Wow. A sexual dysfunction. I had, and then when I started losing my memory, the last year I had the disease and I couldn't focus. I couldn't read anymore. I knew I was like dying. It was so bad. Wow. It was so bad. People do not realize because you look fine.
Yes. Okay.
You don't look like you're dying when you have Lyme disease. So it's so deceiving. And it's like, every day at 3:00, all I wanted to do was crawl into bed. Right. And people go, why don't you watch TV now? I'll tell you why I don't watch TV anymore. And I've watched everything.
Okay.
When you're sick with Lyme and you're in bed, that's the only thing to do. So I watched everything. And now it's like every time I sit down to turn the TV on, it feels like, no, I have my life back. I have my health back. I'm not going to sit in front of the TV. I'm not going to do this.
Exactly.
And that's literally what triggered me into going, I'm going to do everything I have never thought I could or that I've never done or whatever it is. I'm going to do everything.
Wow.
And that's when I did the horse videos.
Yes.
And I did the horse stuff. And that's when I'm like, I'm going to learn to fly a helicopter.
Yes.
And so I'm on my way to being a helicopter pilot. I've got, you know, enough hours. I've been flying. I can fly it. Now I just have to take the test.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And so I'm just doing everything I've always wanted to do.
Got it.
You know? Yes. So it's been incredible for me this last, I'd say, since I've been cured, which has been a couple years now.
Yes.
And I want to bring this technology to everybody. It's been around for hundreds and hundreds of years.
Okay.
But it's, you know, there's newer technology. A guy from NASA discovered it and they, of course, destroyed him and called him a quack. Anybody who says they, you know, right now there's a doctor on trial. I think he got out of it, but he's been, the FDA's tried to get a grand jury to indict him for saying he cures cancer, yet he does cure cancer. And he has hundreds of people he's cured cancer for. And no jury will indict him. So the last one did, but then he got off, right? So there are cures, but when you cure cancer, what happens to the medical industry? That is, they lose a lot of money.
Yes,
a lot of money. That's all I want to say on that. But there is a way, there are natural ways of healing. And when people believe doctors and they tell you you're full of it and then they're dead. So I've had so many people, I go, this will help you. This will help you. I never used the word cure on radio. It cured me. I can say that. I've watched it heal people with terminal cancer. I've watched it, you know, stage 4 people that no longer have cancer. So you can call that whatever you want. It is the most, like, if you are suffering from Lyme disease, if you have cancer, if you've got, and even if you're going through, you know, traditional treatments, you're on chemo, you're doing radiation, you've had, this will help. You go find somebody in your town that does biomagnetics. It might save your life.
Biomagnetics. If you guys heard that, biomagnetics. I mean, this is just...
It saved my life.
Wow.
And you know what? That's amazing because you're sharing insight of what you found out. And you could keep that inside and be like, hey, I'm not going to tell nobody because I don't want to get in trouble. And you're just like, you know what? The world deserves to know. And there's people out there that are sick that just think their doctor is going to say, hey, here's another pill. Just here's something else.
There's nothing we can do. Sorry, go home and die.
Right.
No, that's not an option.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some people go, oh, okay, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And I cannot tell you how many people I said, I can help. I can show you that, if you catch it even late, I've seen people recover, but it is mine too. You have to be there mentally.
Right.
Makes sense.
If somebody pushes you into doing it. Exactly. So here's a story Dr. Badar told on Dr. Rashid Battar.
Yes.
Told this on my podcast that he had a patient whose family brought him in for cancer, and he didn't believe it could happen, but his I don't know, his whole family said, you got to do this, you got to try, you got to fight. I think it was the dad, and he didn't believe it. And so they did everything. He ended up dying. When they did the autopsy, he didn't have cancer anymore.
Wow.
So he believed he was going to die, and that's what killed him, not the cancer.
God.
So if you believe you're going to die, don't waste your money on anything.
Right.
If you believe there's hope,
yes,
you have a little bit of hope.
Yes.
That will pull you through.
I love that. And you have to believe it. It comes from your mind. You have to believe it. And that's why, when I'm saying this as well, magnetics and frequencies, and I could be saying these words right now, and some people are already in their mindset like, oh, really a mindset of frequency, a magnet's going to help me. You can already see that there's probably going to be people thinking like that. But
then that's fine. Go do what makes you happy. Go do what you believe in. That's fine. And you got to find good practitioners. I'm not going to tell you everybody's going to be healed. They're not.
Yes.
They're not.
Yeah.
And this is my opinion, right? And it's what I've seen, and I've seen people heal. And I want to help people, and I do everything I can. And I want to put my next venture when I want to make $1 billion with my cream, and then put up health centers everywhere that don't cost a fortune, that are very little, and that actually work. And that to me is my dream.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So
this is amazing.
So question for you. So, our podcast is coming to an end, and I'd love to know, you've done a lot already. You've done so much. Since 7 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though you're only 25.
You're only 25, and you're reversing the age. So we'll talk about that another time.
Reversing, I'm not kidding. On the way, we were really freaked out. I'm like, how is she? We didn't know what to say. And I'm sorry, but we were talking about you, but in a good way.
No, I love you guys so much. And you came to my 50th birthday party.
Oh my God. And she had a 50th birthday. She was the youngest one there. And I'm like, cute. What is going on here? So
you'll see the photo on Instagram.
Yes.
That outfit was delicious.
Yes. Thank you.
So you're doing a lot. You already brought up the fact that you're going to open up these clinics. So is that your 5-year goal? So we like to let some of our guests know, for the next 5 years, what would you like to have completed? Is that part of it?
Well, the next year, I want to start my first clinic with magnets. And that's going to be, I'm going to probably put it in Clearwater, Florida. Because I spent a lot of time there. Yeah, I spent a lot of time there. And here you can already get it.
Yes.
With Marie, my woman who's my, biomagnetics woman. And if anybody needs help and you're here in Los Angeles or you want to come, it's literally $50 a treatment.
Wow.
And you go once a week. Wow. That's it.
Oh my God.
It's not, it's incredible.
Amazing.
And it's powerful and it works. So yeah.
Wow. I got goosebumps. So guys, seriously, you guys have to follow Kerri Kasem. She is amazing. She does so many different things. She is not afraid of anything. And actually, I think you've been through a lot already. And I think that's what empowers you more to be who you are. And that's why we're such good friends of you. We've sang together.
Yes.
We've actually had treatment together.
Game night. Singing. I mean, come on. We've done a lot.
Water baths. We had hydration baths.
Yeah.
And, if we're starting to look a little younger too, it's because of the things that you have been telling us. And we have been getting compliments as well. But I think we're going to look much better when we start using FaceUp.
Yeah.
Because I cannot wait to use this every day, and then in 2 weeks be look at my face.
I'm so excited for you guys. I'm getting you guys some cream.
Oh my God, stop. We'll pay for it. I'm excited. So guys, thank you so much for watching this podcast. Seriously, watch this. It's going to be released on Sunday at 7 p.m. So just wait for it. And Kerri Kasem is seriously amazing. Where are other platforms people can find you at?
Find me on, Facebook won't give me back my main page, my public page. They took it and a hacker got it. They won't give it back. Of course not. So find me on the best is Instagram. I answer everybody's comments. I answer everybody's like, you know, if you comment under a picture or a reel or whatever, I get to you. It takes a while because sometimes I get a lot if you DM me. I will eventually get to you, but it just comment on the page first, and then I will find you and get back to you.
Yes, and you have to go watch her video with the horse or go see that. And her 50th birthday, oh my God, it was epic. So
Thank
you have to see that too.
Let's make it go from 1 billion to 2 billion likes. Let's do that.
Love it. And thank you so much, Kerri. Love you. Can't wait for Kasem. Oh my God. Let's go. Loves it. Bye,
guys.